Hi guys, in this video let's understand tips. Firstly we'll understand the business model in the first part, and second part we'll understand the Q3 Concall of FY 2026. So firstly, what is tips? What is the business it is into? Tips is a pure play digital music IP company. It makes music, it acquires music from film producers. Founded in 1989, it makes music in 25 languages, which is available across globe. There are 104 employees in Tips Music Limited. Now, Tips has multiple YouTube channels across different languages, and all of the channels combined in YouTube, it has 14 crore subscribers. Let's understand the business model, or how does it earn revenue. Firstly, it has a catalog of 34,000 plus songs in its library. That means there are 34,000 songs which are still generating revenue. Now let us understand how does it actually generate revenue. Firstly, whenever we go to the YouTube channel of Tips, we listen to the music which has ads. The ads actually generate the money to Tips YouTube channel. Now there are multiple number of songs we listen to, and there are also other streaming platforms like Spotify, Geo7, Apple Music, which generate revenue for Tips. This is a digital platform side. If we talk about non-digital platforms like movies or serials or ads, advertisements, if someone is using Tips official music, maybe Tips get the royalty, or Tips also can get the upfront payment as lump sum. Now in FY25 itself, Tips has made 443 songs. Now in FY26, they've already made 330 songs, and before 2022 or 2023, they used to make 800 or 700 odd songs. Now they are shifting the strategy to launch only few number of songs. They want to concentrate on high quality stuff. Now they have changed the strategy, like they want to pay to high quality producers or high quality artists, so that even if it is number of songs have been decreased, even if they want to launch very few number of songs, because they have said that they're focusing only to launch 100 to 150 songs per year. Now that strategy we'll not know until now, because old songs are generating approximately 85% of revenue, and new songs are generating 15% of revenue. Now what is considered as new, what is considered as old, management has explained, management has given clarity. Whatever the songs from Tips are launched after 2020 are termed as new songs. So what are they targeting? In future, they are pushing the songs in such a way that new songs could give them 20 to 25% of the revenue. Now let's understand revenue mix according to the consumers. Domestically, they are getting 30 to 35% consumption. I mean 30 to 35% of the revenue is from domestic consumption, and 70 to 75% is through international consumption across YouTube, Spotify, and multiple streaming platforms. Let's also talk about competitive advantage or moat of Tips. Firstly, if Tips is making a particular music or particular video right now today, they get the revenue, or they are able to generate revenue for a long time. I mean, it's forever as well. It might be perpetual as well, as long as the song has repeatable value. So for example, old Bollywood songs which were launched in 1990s or 2000 still generate revenue for them. And also one more point to note is that management, as I mean, they have also started doing that. You can also see in the current era, many of the previous or old songs have been started to remade. So producers starting to remake songs now. If I am listening to a remade song right now, I might as well be curious to understand how the old song would sound like. So I'll go to the channel Tips channel to understand, to listen to the old or actual OG song. And one more point to notice, Tips as a company, when we talk about capital allocation, it gives big dividends, and it does frequent buybacks. And now I'll also explain this part in the con call, because recently in the FY25 they have made a PAT of 166 crores, and they have promised that whole of the 166 crores will be distributed through dividend in FY26, and they have also done that. And also on accounting or balance sheet side, Tips is a debt-free company, an asset-light model. Talking about a few numbers, in FY22 to FY25, there's a CAGR of 30 to 33% in top line, and there's a CAGR of 35% in EBITDA, and the PAT margins as well. The CAGR across 3 years are like 37%. So if you understand, in FY25 they made 311 CR on top line, and the margins were like 53-54%. PAT was like 166 as I've said. Also for the Q3 FY25 and Q3 FY26, now they have made 94 CR. Q on Q they have made 21% growth. In EBITDA as well, they have made 74 crores. That is again like 34% growth Y on Y. And for the PAT, they have made 59 CR. That is a good thing. They have made 33%. However, let's understand their growth aspects in the con call, and how are they actually pacing up with the guidance. Now let's understand the con call of Q3 financial year 2026. So firstly, this is about the capital allocation, which I've already said you about the moat. They are consistently reducing the equity shares by using the buyback, and they're also giving the dividends. As I said you, they have already paid out, or they have already announced combinedly for financial year 2026, they have paid the PAT of the last year, which is 166 crores. The PAT of the last year, financial year 25, is 167 CR. Now in the Q3 26, they have announced to pay interim dividend of 5 rupees per share, amounting to 63 CR. Now, if you see, there's a CAGR of 36% from FY21 to FY25. In the 25, their revenue top line was 311 CR. So consistently, they're also increasing the market share as well. And yeah, as I've said to you, these are the digital partners, and YouTube it's a key contributor, or the majority of the revenue comes from YouTube. And other than this, podcast partners are comes under non-digital platforms, and these are the sync deals where these companies pay to tips for using their music. Either it might be upfront or it might be through royalty. Now, in the key growth drivers ahead, there's an interesting point in which was much needed in the current era: royalty from AI. So, WMG Warner Music Group and UMG Universal Music Group, they have made a deal in such a way that if there's a music company like Tips, you need to understand one thing, that recently in the YouTube, the many people or content creators who are using AI to make fully fake videos, so they are getting the revenue. Now, YouTube's policy has been so strict recently that such kind of content creators are getting notices, or such kind of channels are getting shut down by YouTube. They are blocking those content. So there's also one more thing: if someone is using AI to train the songs, like train the AI model using the songs of the Tips. Now Tips can have an authority that AI can pay the royalty. AI companies can pay the royalty or have to pay the royalty. Now, this becomes one more income source to Tips, like YouTube, digital and non-digital platforms, and now AI as well. There will be no extra cost for this. There's that AI has to, or AI companies has to pay some kind of royalty again to the Tips company or the music companies releasing content. If you see Hanuman Chalisa in the financial year 5 as well and 26 as well, if you see, there's more than 10 CR views for this Hanuman Chalisa. Like if you just go on YouTube and search for Hanuman Chalisa, you will see the top videos coming from the Tips only. And out of in FY26 as well, they have already made 333 songs. The strategy has been changed, like from 896 they now want to make some odd 100 to 150 songs per year. They want to focus on the quality, or they want to pay high performing artists, tier A artists in such way. Now, the quarterly YouTube views for 9 months, FY25-26, there has been a minor reduction in the views, and these views are contributed. I mean, this reduction is contributed by YouTube Shorts, so they are okay with that because it does not provide any significant revenue. And also, management said that in certain quarters the views might be higher, in certain quarters views might be lower. That is fine. It They cannot push much into that. That is fine. Now, coming to the financial performance, revenue has been increased by 21% year on year by quarter 3, but they have a target of 30% in the top line and the bottom line as well. Now, they are confident in making 20%. However, they are targeting 30%. Operating EBITDA as well, 34%. That is good. But however, if you see the PAT, it was increased by 33% as per the target. Only the revenue, the top line has increased only by 21%, which is good actually, but then not as per their target. But now they have revised their PAT guidance for the next quarter, that from 20% the PAT goes to 25%. They have revised this target, and we need to see how the Q4 results would be like. Coming to the content cost, they have 9 CR in Q3, and for the 9 months FY26, they have 45 CR, which is approximately 18%. But they said that content cost could be higher, around 25% this year. However, there was a movie which was shifted to next year FY27, so this time it could be around 18-19%. And coming to the next year's or further upcoming projects, they said there were two big movies with Imtiaz Ali, Diligence in A.R. Rahman's music, and then there's also another movie with David Dhawan, Varun Dhawan, which is named as Hey Jawani To Ishq Hona Hai. So, which are two upcoming movies in FY27. In the cash flow statement, if you see for September, cash generated from operations is 70 CR. Of course, we understood that it's a cash-rich company, and whenever they are making profits, it's not only accounting profits but also cash profits, which in turn again they repay through dividends or buybacks, which is very good as a company. Talking about the PE ratio in terms of valuation, previously it used to trade at 36, I mean 40s or 45s. Now it has come down to 36 because the share price has corrected a lot. Now the share is currently trading at 525 odd prices. Before it used to trade at 750. The high was 750. Now stock has been punished in Q1 and Q2 because of the miss of the guidance. That was not actually purely a miss. It might be up and down, that is fine, but what is actually PE in terms of this? Briefly to say, P ratio, price to earning ratio. If Tips is earning 1 rupee of net profit, I want to pay, or market wants to pay 36 rupees to earn that 1 rupee. So why do you need to pay 36 rupees, or why do you want to pay 36 rupees? It may be because of the growth aspects, because of the cash profits, because it's distributing dividend, good dividend, it's doing frequent buybacks, asset light model, the growth is conservative, I mean the growth is sustainable. So out of, I mean, considering all of these aspects, I might reward the share, but I'm rewarding the share by paying the premium price. So it might be 40s as well, but then currently 12-month trailing PE is 36, but if we consider this conservative growth rate of 20%, in future the trailing PE would be around 32 and 33. That is still much cheaper than 36 or 40, which was in the case in Q1s and before Q4. Now that is good actually. Considering all of these aspects, considering the Q3 Concall analysis as well, there are much more movies. Like there are two big movies which will be released in FY27. Considering all of these aspects, we can understand that balance sheet is good. Asset light model, cash profits. They have cash profits. They have cash profits. Asset light model. There's no debt. They are giving dividends, and they are doing frequent buybacks. They are reducing the equity part by doing buybacks. So risk is on a lower side, but then talking about the revenue, it has unlimited potential because the catalog is a core engine for them. Still, 1990s or 2000 songs will make fortunes for them. So let me know your comments, or let me know what do you think about the tips, and let's also do the analysis of Q4 when it comes out. Now then we can get a better picture to understand how the company is moving forward, and the 30% growth rate as they said, as they are targeting, would that be achievable and would that be sustainable? Thank you.